All right, once more with feeling. The camera was kind of screwed up. I don't know whether it was bad on your end, but it's bad on my end. Hey, okay, welcome back to the kitchen. We're doing lasagna today, and I hope everybody's going to be able to find their way. I've never had to start one and stop one before. Now, first of all, for the sauce, and I'll walk you through a little bit, but the sauce is already done because you have to cook this a while. If you're going to make meat lasagna, which I did, that's what we're doing, traditional great meat lasagna. Hello, Richie. Richie Fano's watching. What I do is I took some Fulvio's Italian sausage, took it out of the casing. I mixed that with some ground beef and some veal, and I sauteed my onions, my garlic. I added the beef, pork, veal, and browned it real nicely. And then I added some crushed tomatoes, a 28-ounce can. My usual seasoning. Basically, I made bolognese. All right, that's how I make my lasagna. I make a bolognese. Hi, Caroline. Nice to see you. And I made the bolognese, and I let it simmer all afternoon. It's been simmering, so this is ready to go. And so we're going to assemble it. But I will post, hey, Ryan, I'm going to post the full recipe for the meat sauce. And, there's a little splash of red wine in there. Speaking of that, red wine. Hey, Liz, nice to see you. I am drinking a little Coppola Zinfandel, Director's Cut Zin. Decided red wine was the best thing to do with this. Hello, Jan. Nice to see you. So what we're going to do is just basically assemble our lasagna. There is a recipe on my YouTube channel for the bolognese. You just make that. You don't put the cream in it. That's the easiest way to do it. So but what we've done is I've prepared my meat sauce. We're just going to basically assemble the lasagna, but I didn't do all of the steps beforehand. I just made the sauce. I'll let that simmer for a good couple of hours. It's delicious. It's ready to go. But now we need, lasagna, there are lots of different schools of thought on lasagna. And a lot of folks like to make it with the bechamel sauce as opposed to the ricotta, which is the way I'm going. Hi, Pamela. Nice to see you. I do it a more traditional way. I've got nice whole milk ricotta that we're going to mix with our eggs. We're gonna beat a couple of eggs. Then we're gonna add the ricotta, and we've got grated mozzarella that's ready to go. Oh, Jan, that sounds delicious. Lasagna and lobster ravioli. That sounds great. We've got some Parmesan cheese, which we're gonna sprinkle in there. I found some Asiago cheese, which I used in a recipe recently. I want to use that up, so I'm gonna sprinkle that in the layers as well. I've got some nice fresh pasta sheets, which we're going to use. Now, the thing I like about this, you don't have to boil the fresh pasta sheets. You can also use the no-bake. If you want to do the traditional, you got to boil the curly-edged noodles. You got to boil those, drain them, and then you can layer them with those. I prefer the no-bake. I find it really super easy. Ronzoni makes a great no-bake, as does Barilla. But this is fresh pasta, so this is going to cook beautifully in the sauce and the juices of this sauce. So there's going to be plenty of moisture coming out of the cheese, coming out of the sauce. That's going to supply enough moisture for our noodles with the fresh lasagna. So let's get started. Cheers, everybody. That's pretty good. All right. Like I said, I got my mozz out. What I want to do, I'm going to do a couple eggs. Let me bring it down so where you guys can see what I'm doing. My cameraman, Richie, is not feeling great. Feel better? And he likes lasagna. Oh, hi, Roland and Dana. My in-laws are watching. All right, so we got an egg. We're just going to crack the egg. I don't want to get any shell in there. Good. There we go. That's one. Toss that in the sink. Oh, it's a tough egg. All right, there we go. All right, we got two. Now we got two eggs. All right, we're gonna take these and just beat them. Hey, Paul. Lasagna night is the greatest night. It is a great night. I love lasagna night. All right, we're just gonna beat those eggs like that. Now, I've got my ricotta. Oh, you yes. Oh, my nephew Reed sprinkling meatballs, our homemade family meatball recipe in between the layers. Now that would be dynamite. I also, on occasion, I like to put some slices of pepperoni in there, which you can do. I mean, there are a million things you can do with your lasagna. All right, so now I've got my whole milk ricotta. I'm just going to put the whole thing in there, like that. All right, now let me get my eggs out of the way so I don't break. You got to break a few eggs to make lasagna. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to mix our ricotta. And again, you can do this with a bechamel sauce. It's a little lighter. It's a little different kind of recipe. I'm doing the traditional Italian version. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to mix this up. I got my 2 eggs beaten. I've got my whole milk ricotta. Hello, Gail. Nice to see you. I'm trying to watch what I'm doing with the ricotta and watch the comments. Where did I get the I got the pasta at Gelson's. There's a company that makes fresh pastas, and they package them. And so they had, I was going to do the no-bake, which I do all the time. I love it. It's just so much easier. Some people don't like it. Some people say the consistency is different. I have never found it to be different. I kind of like it. But if you prefer the traditional baked, the regular noodles, which you have to boil first, that's great. But the fresh pasta sheets are going to be really good. Hello, Joshua. Good to see you, my neighbor, Josh Carr. Hi, Beverly. Nice to see you. So, all right, what I'm doing is I'm just making sure that my egg and my ricotta are nicely mixed. I'm going to add a little Parmesan cheese into that. Yeah, so like that. We do have to do a pasta demo. Reed, my nephew is a great chef. He's food and bev director. Reed, where are you, food and bev director? What's the name of the place? Pardon me while I have a close personal conversation with my nephew while we're cooking. Hi, Liz. Nice to see you. Oh, Liz, you're welcome. I love doing these recipes. It's always fun. I apologize. I was a little late tonight. There's family conversations about different stuff, getting ready for the holidays. You know how that goes. All right, so now, Oakhurst Inn. My nephew, Reed, is the food and bev director at Oakhurst Inn in Virginia. If you want an incredible experience, go to the Oakhurst Inn, because he will treat you right. Okay, so we've got that all ready to go. Hi, Rosalind. Good to see you. So we've got ricotta mixed with 2 beaten eggs and a little Parmesan cheese. Hello, Travis. Nice to see you. All right, now what we're going to do, I got to bring you back up to see this. So now we got to layer all of our ingredients. So I've got my sauce. Let me move over just a little bit so you guys can see what we're doing. Got everything ready, okay? We've got it all laid out because now we're basically doing an assembly line. And the way I like to do it, I'm going to start with my, and I've cooked this down, and I've cooked a lot of the liquid out of it. There's not a whole lot left. This, again, beef, veal, and Fulvio's Italian sausage. I use the mild, not the hot. Some onions and garlic. And I made a traditional kind of bolognese meat sauce. I added a little red wine. There's oregano. There's Italian seasonings, salt, pepper. And then you let it cook for a good long while, because what you want to do is get it to a nice meaty consistency. All right, now to start, let me do it this way so you guys can see. There we go. Okay, now what we're going to do is start layering all of our, hey, Robert Chapman. Robert and I went through, what, elementary school, middle school, and high school together. All right. Start with a layer of sauce on the bottom. And the way I do this, I don't plan, hi Lane, nice to see you. I don't plan on how many layers I'm going to end up with. It's how much sauce I have and the other stuff. Once I'm out of any one thing, then that's it. I top it with some mozzarella cheese and we throw it in the oven. It's just that simple and that easy. There's no great science to it. Some people really like to stack up a lasagna with a lot of layers. So we put a thin layer of sauce on the bottom, just like that. And you see how nicely that is? All right, now we're going to put a nice sheet of pasta on top of that, okay? Oh, I see your question. I made a meat sauce. It cooked for about 2 hours. Beef, Fulvio's Italian sausage out of the casing, mixed in with the beef and the veal. I use beef, pork, veal. I use that trinity of meats in all of my Italian cooking. So I'm going to put this in there. Nice. There we go. I cut this, I pre-sized the sheets of pie. It was several long sheets, which I just cut to the right size. All right, and I've got a little extra. It broke up a little bit, so you get some extra pieces if you want to piece it together. It's not that big a deal. All right, so now, but I don't want it curling up like that. It's okay. We're going to pile lots of stuff right on top of it, so it's not going to be any big deal. All right, and you can flip it over too. Obviously, it's curling. So now we've got our egg. Is it Ellen? It's Ellen. All right, we got our egg and ricotta mixture. I'm going to flip this sheet because it's curling the wrong way for me. And it's okay. I don't mind sauce on both sides. There we go. And there we go. Perfect. Lovely. I love it. All right, I'm not going to lick my fingers on Facebook Live. Okay. Now, so we got a layer of sauce. Got a pasta sheet. Here's our egg and ricotta mixture. It doesn't have to coat it. You just want it in the layer, okay? Just like that. Maybe just a little more, like that. So then you just spread it out. Got that. I'm going to take some of my Asiago cheese and sprinkle it in there, just because I've got it. So this is a little Asiago, so we do that. Then we take our mozzarella, put a layer of that in there. Just like that. Then another layer of sauce right on top of your cheese, pasta. Doesn't have to be a thick layer of sauce. Just spread it out. Cover your cheese. Just like that. A little more here in the corner. Hate to leave corners uncovered. All right. I got another little gap to fill in. There we go. All right. See that? Isn't that beautiful? Now we got another sheet of pasta coming up. And like I said, I sized these up. Hey, Paul, nice to see you. And I cut them in advance so that I would have them the right size. Now I'm making a smaller lasagna than I normally do. Today, I only used 1.5 pounds of meat because I'm not making a giant lasagna. I'm making a small. So I'm going to end up with leftover ricotta and egg, which is unfortunate. I should have used half, but I didn't. All right, we'll cover that up like that. So I'll add a little extra because I hate to waste it because it's such good stuff. And with the egg in this is going to fluff up a little bit when you bake it. It's going to give that a little airiness to the layers, which is what you're looking for. All right, we do that. Parmesan, which is already in the mixture. I'm going to use some Asiago. I know the corners are the best piece because you get some of the extra meat and cheese that is slipped down. So I'm going to cover that with some Asiago. And now back to the mozzarella. Just a nice layer of mozzarella. And I've got some more in the fridge in case I run out, which happens from time to time because I'm a little heavy-handed with the mozzarella. All right, there we go. Now another layer of sauce. Like I said, we just keep going until I run out of something. And once I'm run out of something, that's when it goes in the oven. Then it's ready to go. And we're getting pretty close. Now we're just going to smooth that out. Again, fill in those corners. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? I got one more sheet of pasta I'm going to put on there. I'm trying to find my one that's the prettiest. Oh, that's nice. That's going to be perfect. So we'll put that. Another layer of our egg and ricotta. Use whole milk ricotta. Don't skimp on that. Don't use the light stuff. You won't like the result. And when you're eating lasagna, especially meat lasagna, you're not trying to save on the, I missed that comment, Reed. I'm going to have to back up and see what you said. Let's see what you said. Oh, well, Massimo does have the 5 stars. This is a 1 or 2 star kitchen over here. All right, we're going to do that. Add some more of this. Now, I'm not going to put another layer of pasta on top. That's our last layer of pasta. This is how I'm going to top it off. I'm going to add the rest of, I'm going to put a little mozzarella in here, like that. Because I want to cover up the top, but I'm going to use the last of my sauce right on top like this. Get the last of this. This is good stuff. You don't want to waste don't waste the meaty stuff, right? So we're going to put that right in there. Oh, that looks good. All right, we've used all of our sauce now. I'm going to top it off with our couple of different cheeses. Hey, Casey, nice to see you. So we'll put a little Parmesan. Just like that. Get it all around the edges. I'm going to use up the last of my Asiago. Just like that. And it looks pretty. See how pretty that is? And then we're going to finish it up with our mozzarella all around the outside. Just like that. And like I said, I have a little more in the fridge, which I want to use. So give me 1 second. I'm just going to use up the last of this to cover up the rest of the top of that. Oh, this is a little finer shred. No problem there. Oh, there we go. That, kids. Oh, the dogs are very excited because there's meat and cheese involved. I want to get that corner covered up a little bit. Beautiful. Beautiful. Dust it with a little Parmesan. There you go. Okay, guys. That eggplant Parmesan. Oh, yeah, you're going to have that for Christmas. All right, kids. That is our lasagna. It is ready to go in the oven, and it's going to bake for 30 to 40 minutes at 375 degrees. I will post pictures of what it looks like at the end. Of course, it's a giant mess to clean up. This pan is going to be a disaster with all that cheese melting all over it, and that's okay because it's delicious. We used up a lot of our ingredients, but the most important thing is we used up all of the meat sauce. Okay, so that is the most important thing. Let's pop this in the oven. I got my oven preheated to 375. In as she goes. Okay. Unfortunately, I got a little bit of the ricotta and egg left over, which is kind of a bummer. But listen, thank you guys very much for joining me. Great to see you. Cheers. Be safe. We'll do something all fish next week so we can get ready for Christmas Eve. I'll post pictures of the lasagna and I'll post the recipe on my YouTube page as well. And of course, it'll live right here on Facebook. So cheers, Chindan. Have a great rest of your week. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you next week right here in the kitchen.